Let's continue our chapter number 6, Indian Struggle Against Colonialism. Last we left off about the armed revolutionary movement in India. Next point is Hindustan Socialist Republican Association. The young revolutionary Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev had a secular way of thinking. In 1928, they established Hindustan Socialist Republican Association in Delhi. Their goal was to free India from the British exploitation. They wanted to rip off the British system that exploited the farmers and laborers. Their organization had an independent department called Hindustan Socialist Republican Army for collecting arms and to execute their plans. Chandrasekhar Azad was the chief of that department. The members of this organization had completed several adventurous tasks. Bhagat Singh and Rajguru avenged the death of Lala Lajpat Rai. Saunders was killed to teach a lesson British officer. The British government had submitted two bills in the Central Legislative Assembly which were absolutely damaging to civil rights. Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Datta exploded a bomb in the Legislative Assembly and surrendered to police. Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev were hanged at Lahore in 1931 under the charge of treason. Chandrasekhar Azad became a martyr fighting the British forces in the Alfred Park in Allahabad. Surya Sen was the leader of the revolutionary group working with Hindustan Socialist Republican Army in Chittagong in Bengal. He prepared a plan to attack on British armories. They carried out the plan. While they were nearing success, unfortunately, Surya Sen and some of his colleagues were captured by the police. Surya Sen and his colleagues sacrificed their life for the cause of nation. Other revolutionary were in the list such as Kalpana Dutt, one of this group, got a life sentence. Preeti Lata Vadedar escaped the police but sacrificed her life. Shanti Ghosh and Suniti Chaudhary, the two school-going girls, shoot Charles Buckland, the British magistrate. They were caught and sentenced to imprisonment for life. Peena Das, a member of Indian National Congress, attempted to kill Stanley Jackson, the governor of Bengal, by shooting at him during the convocation ceremony of the University of Kolkata. She was caught and sentenced to 9-year rigorous imprisonment. When we talking about the revolutionary have contributed significantly to the independence movement in India. There were courage and determination. Their loyalty to the nation and readiness to sacrifice their life are unmatched. Their sacrifice has been a source of inspiration to all. Then, after the revolutionary, the movement was into the hand of Mahatma Gandhi. Let's study in detail about the Indian national movement under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. Our next point is Mahatma Gandhi non-violent resistance movement. After the death of Lokmanya Tilak in 1920, the leadership of India's independent movement was into the hand of Mahatma Gandhi. He became the leader. Under his leadership, the independence movement expanded considerably. He started his political career in South Africa. The British regime in South Africa had reduced the natives and Indians there to a very insignificant status. Several discriminatory laws and regulations were imposed on them. Gandhiji stood up against those laws and regulations. He was successful in it with his method of non-violent means. In 1915, Gandhiji returned to India. He started his work in India in 1917 when he took up the issue of the farmers in Champaran in Bihar. This event is known as Champaran Satyagraha. The British plant's owner there were pressing local farmers to cultivate only indigo. Not only that, they used to buy indigo from them at very low rates. Gandhiji decided to protest against this exploitation and to relieve the farmer from their misery by doing satyagraha. Gandhiji was successful in his effort and the British government banned compulsion of cultivating indigo. The farmers were relieved from the harassment of the British plant's owners. As Indian national movement was expanded under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, the British government tried to suppress the movement. Sir Sidney Rowlatt, the British officer, was the president of the committee. He passed an act in 1919 which came to be known as Rowlatt Act. This act authorized the British government to imprison any Indian without warrant and to put under trial without any inquiry. Mahatma Gandhi decided to protest against this act through the means of satyagraha. He appealed on 6th April 1919 to all people to go for a mass protest or haltal by closing down all daily transactions. Mass protest was started in different parts of India. The government tried to suppress the protest or hartal and they banned restriction on public gathering. But there were mass protests in Punjab. 13 April 1919 was the day of Baisakhi festival. Thousands of people had gathered for the meeting held at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar for celebrating the festival. Many of them were not aware of the ban put by the British government on public gathering. General O'Dwyer opened fire on these people without any warning. About 400 innocent people were killed, and thousands of them were injured in this incident. It is known as Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. It created a wave of rage all through India. Rabindranath Tagore criticized this act in a very severe term and gave up his title Sir. In 1920, meeting of Indian National Congress was held in Nagpur. A resolution was passed to start non-cooperation movement all over India under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. It was decided to boycott all schools, colleges, legislative bodies, courts, government offices, and imported goods. Indian people responded to the non-cooperation movement and boycott in a commendable way. Students participated it on a large scale. Several highly acknowledged Indian lawyers stopped their practices and participated in the movement. Among them were Chittaranjan Das, Motilal Nehru, M.R. Jaikar, Saifuddin Kichalu, Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajgopalachari, etc. At many places, imported clothes were publicly burned. The farmers gave tremendous response to Mahatma Gandhi's appeal of non-cooperation. The working class also participated in the movement on a very large scale. A nationwide series of public strike was started. There were 396 instances of public strikes during the year 1921 alone. The leaders of Indian National Congress had organized these strikes at several places. Charkha, that is the Indian spinning wheel, became the symbol of Swarajya, and Swadeshi became a household term in India. The British government had levied heavy tax on salt, an essential commodity in daily life. Mahatma Gandhi declared Satyagraha to protest against this tax. On the day of 12th March 1930, he began march from his Sabarmati ashram to Dandi on Gujarat sea coast against this unjust tax. On 6th April, on the sea coast at Dandi, he broke the British law of salt with a token act of collecting a handful of salt from there. This incident came to be known as Dandi March. Next point is Azad Hind Sena. In the year 1939, Hitler pushed Europe in World War II. The British government, without the consent of its Indian subjects, decided to involve India as one of the participant countries in the war. Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress were against this decision of the British government. In this war, Japan decided to fight as Germany's allied nation. Japan conquered the region under the British rule in Southeast Asia. Many Indian soldiers in the British Army were taken captive by the Japanese army. Ras Bihari Bose built Azad Hind Sena by recruiting these Indian soldiers, and later it was recognized under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose. It was reorganized under him. In 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose established Azad Hind Sarkar in Singapore. At the end of 1943, he had already conquered Andaman and Nicobar. तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा. Give me your blood, I shall give you independence. This speech by him turned into a key slogans among Indians. In 1944, he had conquered the Arakan provinces and the British outpost in the eastern border of Assam. The soldiers of Azad Hind Sena kept fighting in very adverse conditions. They could not reach and captured Imphal. Imphal is a city in Manipur. Next remarkable movement under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi was started in 1942, came to be known as Quit India movement. The Executive Council of Indian National Congress passed a resolution at Wardha that the British should quit India. This resolution was to receive final approval in the session of Mumbai. On 7th August 1942, the session of Indian National Congress began on the Gowalia Tank ground in Mumbai. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad was the president of this session. Let's study the resolution of Quit India movement. On 8th August, in the session, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru presented the resolution of Quit India, and it was approved with great majority. It was demanded that the British should immediately leave India. In this session, it was also decided that the Quit India movement should be taken forward with a non-violent approach under Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi appealed to all Indians, saying, "This movement is not of the Indian National Congress, but of all Indians. Every Indian man and woman should know in their mind that they are free citizens from this very movement, and they should prepare themselves to fight." While emphasizing that this was going to be very rigorous fight, Mahatma Gandhi said, "Today I am going to give you the mantra, do or die. This should be the both to which we commit ourselves. Prepare to sacrifice your lives or yourself for this oath." Gandhiji's word create a new spirit among Indians. Again, British tried to crush the Quit India movement before it started. Before the day of 9th August could see sunlight, all prominent leaders like Gandhiji, Maulana Azad, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel were arrested. The government put a ban on public gathering, speeches, rallies and protestations. It sealed all the offices of Indian National Congress in the country. The resistance put up by all aged and young in the villages like Chimur, Ashti, Yavali, Mahad, Gargoti, etc. with steadfastness and courage will indeed be remembered forever. By the end of 1942, this movement, supported by common people, took a different turn. Its leadership was assumed by the young socialist leader like Jayaprakash Narayan, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, Achyutrao Patwardhan, Aruna Asaf Ali, S.M. Joshi, N.G. Gore were on the forefront among them. Several revolutionary groups were established in the country at local levels. The groups like Azad Dasta, established by Bhai Kotwal in Karjat Taluka, Lal Sena in Nagpur, established by General Avari, left no alternative for the British government but to pray God. In Mumbai, Vittal Javeri, Usha Mehta, and their colleague started a transmission center named Azad Radio. In 1942, in some parts of India, people were successful in uprooting the British governance. In Midnapur district, that is Bengal, Balia and Bhagalpur, Purnia, Bihar, near Azamgarh, the British officers were forced to leave their offices. People took charge of the governance at these places. Kranti Sinha, Nana Patil, a revolutionary, established Prati Sarkar, parallel government in the Satara district of Maharashtra. He, with the help of his associate, put an end to the British regime in Satara district and established people government. This government took over the administrative tasks like collecting revenue, maintaining law and order, solving the court cases, punishing criminals, etc. Consequences of this movement. In this period, the foundation of the British rule in India became weak. The Quit India movement was an expression of the strong opposition of the Indian people to the British rule. The British administrator became aware that it will be difficult for them to rule the Indian any longer. The end of the British Empire was evident to them. The rebellion of the sailors of the British Indian Navy 1946 added to the unrest against the British. Thus, when the possibility of India becoming a free nation had become evident, Muhammad Ali Jinnah and his party Muslim League began to insist on a separate nation for the Muslims. There were many communal riots in many parts of the country. It finally resulted in the partition of our country. In the month of August of 1947, India and Pakistan, two separate nations, came into existence. British rule ended. History tells us that it was India the nation that created an example for the world of fighting successfully against the colonial rule. It gave inspiration to many countries who were suffering under the shackles of colonial rule. When you're talking about the conclusion, the Constitution of Independent India came into implementation on 26 January 1950. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's vision was the major force in the shaping of Constitution of India. The fundamental value on which the struggle for India's freedom was founded included liberty, equality, fraternity, and justice. These values have built the foundation of Indian Constitution. Echoes of our country movement or India's independent movement also felt or reached in America and Singapore. When we're talking about America, during the time of World War II, Life, the weekly published in America, demanded that India should be given independence immediately. Renowned Americans from various fields like Albert Einstein, Louis Fisher, Edgar Snow, Wendell Willkie, John Gunther, etc., had signed these petitions. In Singapore, thousands of Indians marched in a rally with placard posters saying Indians' independence without delay, India for Indians. Under the leadership of the Indian Independence League, anti-British protestations were held in all big cities of Malaya, Malaysia. There was such protestation in Medan and Sumatra, Indonesia. That is the end of our chapter number 6. Inshallah, in next lecture we will start our next lesson that based on the integration of our states.